They called it the Silent Storm, a blizzard that came without warning. Wind sharp enough to cut through steel, cold so deep it froze the sound out of the air. For 3 days, no signal came from the Arctic Research Base. No radio, no flares, no light. Just static and silence. When the rescue team finally reached the outpost, they found only snow and twisted metal. A generator crushed under ice, a line of boot prints half buried, and a single paw print leading north. They thought everyone was gone, but they were wrong. A week earlier, the station had been home to 6 researchers and 1 rescue dog, a Siberian Malamute named Taro. He was the youngest of the team, but when the storms came, he worked harder than anyone. He pulled sleds. He carried cables. He found lost people in the white. And he always came back when called. Until that night, when the storm hit, the team tried to secure the solar rigs. Visibility dropped to 0 in seconds. A support beam snapped, and the captain was thrown across the ice. Taro barked once, then dove into the storm after him. That was the last time anyone saw them. Hours later, the wind calmed. The surviving researchers searched until their voices broke, but the night swallowed everything. The temperature fell to -40. They sent out one last call. Station Delta, status unknown. Request retrieval. Then the radio died. When the rescue crew arrived days later, they found 5 bodies inside, frozen where they'd taken shelter. No trace of the captain. No trace of the dog. Just a broken collar near the edge of the ridge. And beside it, a drag mark. Something had been pulling something heavy uphill. Satellite photos came days later. A single moving dot, cutting through the ice field 50 kilometers north. Too slow to be a machine. Too straight to be an animal wandering. They sent a drone. It caught just a few seconds of footage before losing signal. A dog, thin as bone, hauling a sled behind him, through snow up to his chest. In the sled, a motionless human shape wrapped in torn insulation. Taro hadn't stopped searching. He hadn't stopped moving. He hadn't stopped trying to come home. By the time the rescue chopper reached him, the dog was half buried beside the sled, fur frozen stiff, eyes half closed. His muzzle rested against the man's shoulder, as if still checking for breath. They lifted both into the helicopter. The captain's pulse was faint, but real. Taro's heart had stopped, his body still curved protectively around the man's chest. When they thawed the sled ropes later, they realized what had happened. The dog had tied himself to the sled's handle with his collar strap and dragged the captain for nearly 12 days through the blizzard, over ice ridges, past frozen rivers, through night after night of absolute white. At the rescue center, the captain recovered slowly.
Shouldn't have survived 12
He didn't
days in that
speak for
cold.
weeks, but every morning he walked to the window facing north and waited. The base buried Taro under the flagpole, not as an animal, but as a rescuer. They carved one line into the wooden cross that marked the spot. He never stopped searching. Months later, a new team was sent to rebuild the base. On the first night, as the wind began to rise again, someone heard it. A bark, faint and distant, carried across the snow. They stepped outside. Nothing but wind and stars. But the sound came again. Low, strong, echoing through the white. Not
Still out
lost,
there.
not gone, just still searching. Some stories don't end where the heart stops beating. Some just change shape and keep moving until someone else is found.